Okay, hi. So with this one, we're going to be using the black paint. Every time I put the camera back up, I'm at a different angle. I should not be left to do things on my own, but there you go. So I'm going to be using the black marble, okay? And I'm going to work through, but the first thing that I'm going to do is all the pages that I left blank, like so, I'm going to paint black. Okay, so I'm going to get some black paint, I'm going to blend it in, and I'm just going to paint all of these pages black, and then we can use them with a white pen, or it would just be something different. I love black. Black is the absence of colour, so therefore it makes all the other colours pop. You can see how quickly it dries. So I shall just go until I find my next. Here we go. Add a bit more. I do have a black dialogue. It's rather nice to work in that one as well, but I wanted a bit of a mix of both, really. The beauty of using my paint for this, it gives you a really nice matte finish. But you can see it's a solid finish, but it dries really quickly. I don't know how many people say how many pages do you leave. I don't know, whatever's left. When I get fed up of making backgrounds, I'll just add in some black. And normally I would go in and I would add silhouettes at this point. I would silhouettes and shapes, but I'm going to do that on as the days go by, so that we're all using a similar type of page. But normally, while I've got the black out, I will just go in and add a black silhouette, add a black shape, etc. I'm going to put some borders in straight away because I don't usually leave them till the end. Oh, we're going the wrong way. I like the books to be ready wherever I am, that I can just pick them up. Have I done? Oh, maybe I've done. Just let me check. That one I want for the calendar. If I find one I haven't done, that's absolutely fine. I can use it for something else. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to add some borders on here. I'll just wipe that. I have to wipe everything as I go. And excuse me, to use that, I'm going to use the new stencil, Stitching Time. I'm not sure who's been using this one. So this is Stitching Time in the large. I've also got it in the small, and these are lots of stitches in there. And then I've also got the two dialogue stencils, which have the borders on. And these you can just lay flat to use. They come like this, so you can store them in your dialogue, but they just lay flat. So we've got the choice of all these that we can use in here. And again, I just come to the front, and I'm just going to start at the front. I'm not sure what I'm doing there yet. And on here, this is quite a busy one. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to take this. I was going to add a bit more paint. And I'm going to use this border, but I'm just going to place it on half. Can you see where I'm just half on the page? So I'm just going to go like this. I'll do it on the top of the page. Just be careful you don't put too much paint on these. You don't want them seeping through or leaking through to the other side. And then I'm going to come down the edge here. So I'm just going to fit that in. And then I normally think, do I want to put this one anywhere else in the book? Excuse me, so I'll just have a quick look. Let's have some down the side here. I don't want to be flipping over pages too much for you, but I'm just going to go round the circle. But normally I would flip back and forward. Do I want to use that stencil again? Oh, got a blob. Oh, never mind. On my desk. There must have been a blob there. So I'm going to come back to the front. I did that one there. Let's have a look. I think this one can have this border going round. And again, I don't know if I'm going to use this as a single day, as a full day. It doesn't really matter. I'll decide nearer the time what I want to do. If I use it as a double, I'll probably add some down the end here. I'm usually working on about 3 books at once, so I normally have all sorts out. This looks as though it needs something as well. What can this one have on? This one can have the arrows. Where did the arrows go? Yeah, here. Let's have some arrows down the side. And usually you'll find black. If it's not on one page, you know, it's not on every page, it's on almost, it's on at least one side of the page, you know, and I might add some more to it later. This one I definitely want some. Let's have these big, let's have the stitches going round on this one. And we can doodle these all on the day. If you notice, I always do 2 opposite sides, and then I fit the stencil in between to do the other 2 sides. And don't worry if you make a mess, because you won't see it. Once you've sorted it all out, you're not going to see this at all. Yeah, I think I need something on this one as well. I do like a border. So there's a circle, so let's have some circles going up here. You'll notice that this stencil is designed so I can actually get the blending tool between each side without having to be too careful. When I'm coming along here, if it doesn't quite fit, actually amazingly that one fits, can you see? That is amazing. But normally you just juggle them. That is a fluke, can I just tell you that? An absolute fluke that fitted in there. It never normally happens, and when I want it to happen, there is no way that it will happen. So don't go thinking I've got magic border powers, because I haven't. I added some on this one. Maybe I'll have something on here. What shall we have on here? Maybe like these hearts. I'll just have some hearts going up the side. Just make sure you've got your book the right way up. I'm forever turning mine upside down like this to add things, and then forgetting to turn it back round again. So it's really important that you do that. We'll have this. Sometimes I'll draw a border, but a lot of the time if they're already on, and then I just work with what I've got. See how you feel. They're harder to add in later because you've got to go round whatever it is you're doing, but it's not impossible. If you want to add them later, we just use it with a pen. Instead of using black paint, we'll just draw it with a pen and then go round it. I think I want to put some stitches on here, but I think I'm going to use the small one. So I'm going to have it look as though it's stitched onto the background. I might just do 2 sides, I might do all 4. Not sure. think I want to do the other two sides as well. It's really miserable out today. I'm just looking out into my garden. It's really miserable. It's been so lovely as well. I think the warm weather, sun, always makes you feel better. So there you go. One there. And this is what I do. I just tend to look through and see. Sometimes I'll have a look at the actual borders, and let's have that on that. If it's hard to get it, remember, just fold your book over. Let's have this leaf border here. And again, they might look quite strong at the moment, but once you've doodled them, if we doodle with a white pen, it will knock them back. So I'll just keep going through. I need something, oops, I need something on here. What should we have on here? This is the best bit. Ooh, what should we have? Oh, I know what I can show you. You could also use your normal stencils as well. If you've got something that's on the end, you could use that. So let's see. So I can just, and if I just go down one row there, and then if I just repeat on the opposite side, oh, I've done a bit of an overload, but we won't notice once we've got it on. And then if I just fit that one in, you see? So you can play, you know, if you haven't got the border stencils, you can just play with your normal stencils as well, and you can end up with a lovely border. And here, where I've gone over, once, you're not going to see that at all. Once it's done, you know, I'll be so surprised if you see. When I've got a lot going on like this, that's when I normally would put a border on. So let's have a look at this one. Let's have this retro border here, and I'm going to put all of it. And if I decided this page needs to be 2 separate days, I can just add a border down the centre as well. What are we doing? I've got 2 blocks there. That's it, 2 blocks there. Just have it diagonal. Oops, get in that corner. Okay. Oh, I'm just watching 2 cats chase across the garden. Sorry, it's a good job Mr. Boo's not out. He'd have had him. They only come out when he's not there. So there's one. Again, I can't. That might end up being 2, so I'll do that one later. That one's fine. This one, I think we'll add. Let's add some of these flowers down the edge. I'm quite pale on there. I don't want it too dark and too solid, so I'll just do that quite lightly. On this back page again, I'm not sure whether I'll use this as 1 or 2, so I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it as 2 and 1, if you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to go across the top first, like so, and I'm going to go across the bottom, like so, and then I'm going to go up the side, and I'm going to go across the middle. I'm going to go across here. And then I'm going to do this bit here. Did it fit in? I have to turn them so I'm the way that my arm is. It's much easier to turn your book than to break your arm. Look how fast it's drying in here. My studio, once it warms up, it's like a heat trap. It's like a tropical little spot in my garden, which is fine till you go outside and then you realise it's freezing out there. So that's it. There we go. So far we have got, and I have to say this in total has probably taken me about, oh my gosh, 45 minutes, 45 minutes, if that. So start here. This is going to be the next video. It's going to be the calendar page. Go here. Look at all these pages, all ready to go. So when we start, we can just pick it up and go. You don't have to prepare your whole book, okay? You just need to have a couple of pages done so that when we start, this is going to be our introduction to it in here. That's what we're going to do there. This is going to be our calendar page, and this is going to be April the 1st. So it could be, this could be April the 1st, this could be April the 2nd, I'm not sure yet, but it'll be one or the other. And then, and again, these can be two separate pages. These, when they're like that, I usually do them as separate pages, but it doesn't really matter. But that's what we're going to do. So, and if you didn't want to do all that, just pick up one of my ready-made books and just add some borders in, or just add the odd black page to it. You can just, you know, colour out. I haven't got a ready, let me, oh, probably got one here. No, I haven't got a ready-made one. Oh, here's one from another time. Look, you can see I do these all the time, ready. Can you see I must have just walked off halfway through this one? But I'm always prepping them ready. But what you can do is, if you've got one of the ready-made ones, you can just do a couple of black pages and you can just do some borders round. Okay, see you next for the calendar.